Today we start off with a PSA for anybody who goes to see live music. When the music's over, make your hands perpendicular, moving back and forth, not up and down or circular. When you finally get to the end of the song, everyone knows how to clap along. Everyone knows how to clap along. Welcome in, nerds, and today I want to discuss something that was brought up on my recent appearance on the 561 Music Podcast. If you have not checked out the 561 Music Podcast, I highly recommend it. I'll put the link in the description. I was co-hosting, filling in for Ben Childs with Rio Peterson. We spoke a bit about how nowadays, when you are playing a show, a lot of times your background music. One of the hardest things for me is always not to feel bad when nobody claps after a song. I don't think people understand how much time and effort goes into being good at performing live. It's one of those things where you have to practice, you have to do it a lot. And you're the only person, for the most part, that knows how much you practice, how much you do it, and how much you care about it. So when you go and play in a live setting, in a bar, like I play in a lot, or breweries or restaurants or anything like that, a lot of times your background music. So you finish a song that you thought you crushed, and then it's absolute crickets after. People, for the most part, in those situations are not there to see live music. That is just a bonus to whatever meal they're eating or drink they're enjoying or friends they're, hanging out with. But in some situations, you are playing in places where it's loud enough where it's impossible for people to not notice that you're playing. And I've had this issue many, many times where I'll be playing and I'll look out into the bar and notice that people are singing along, they're dancing along, they're maybe taking videos and stuff like that. And then when the song ends, they just don't respond at all. And to me, this has been because what I have dubbed the jukebox generation. And obviously jukeboxes are not really a thing now, and they came out a long time ago. But in a jukebox, a song plays, the song that you love, and nobody claps for the jukebox. Nobody goes, "Good job, jukebox," because it just played a song. It just did its job. And a lot of people are looking at live musicians that way. And even though something like that could really eat at you, the reality of it is it's not really that critical when it comes to proving how good you are as a musician. It's an emotional thing. You're out there, you're bearing it all. You're doing the thing that you wanted to do for your entire life. And you're doing it in front of people, which is a nerve-wracking situation, don't get me wrong. It's really tough to go out there and do that for these people. But the reality of it is, their reciprocation is not guaranteed. With that being said, I do think that there needs to be a re-education of the public at large. When you are out at a bar, and you see a musician playing, maybe after they finish that song, you should clap. You should reciprocate in some way. I'm not saying that you have to tip them. That's obviously a great way to be able to support local artists and local musicians. Nobody's asking you to put hundreds of dollars in these people's tip jars. It's really simple. It's just the fact of, that's it. But a lot of people don't do that. And that small gesture right there could make the world of difference for people. And there's two different people that I'm talking to in this situation. The musicians that are going out there and doing it, and it's the people that are going to see the musicians. If there is the general audience that is just out there, goes to bars and just happens to come across this video, you see a musician out there in the wild doing their thing. When they finish a song, give them a clap. Nobody asks you to tip them, just clap. It doesn't fucking hurt you. And 99.9% of the time, they're really not terrible. Some people are like, "Oh, he was bad, so I'm not clapping." Why? Maybe he was nervous. Maybe she was nervous. Maybe that's the situation. And then all of a sudden you're turning into this high horse of you have all of this power. Well, I'm not going to clap because they're not that good. But as an artist, it's really tough. So now I'm talking to the other side of this, the artists. The people that are out there doing this on a regular basis. When people don't clap for you when you're playing in that setting, please, please, please don't let it discourage you, because the reality of it is that they don't know what they're doing. They have no idea how bad they're hurting you. They have no clue because they're not on that journey with you. They're not there learning the songs. They're not there practicing and going through the whole entire thing and doubting yourself, which we all do. But to be vulnerable enough in front of people to do something like that, people just assume that when you're an artist or when you're a musician, that you can just play anything that's ever been created. And the reality of it is that's not true. But to be vulnerable like that in front of people takes so much. And I applaud every single person that goes out there and does this. I'm begging you, please do not let them not showing you affection for your art affect you. All in all, for the people who go to bars that are not musicians or are musicians, when you go and see other artists play, do you clap? Musicians that play out in bars, does it bug you when people don't clap? How does that make you feel? It tears me apart inside, but I don't think you should let it do that. Don't let it affect your creativity. Don't let it affect your artistry. Don't let it affect your career. These are just people. They know not what they do. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me once again. Like, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. And hope you like the song. I thought it was kind of funny. All of the audio from these are now going to be in podcast form. If you go to Coping with Creativity with Ricky Bolafé on Spotify, you'll be able to be up there. I'm working on further distribution for that. And then soon we're going to be doing interviews, which I'm very, very excited to be able to talk to some more people about creativity. Thank you so much for subscribing so far. Thank you so much for watching and listening and everything like that. And I will see you in the next video. See ya.